We are in the 1-3 streets today. We are flopping sets and we are playing this hand like it's a premium. You don't want to miss it. Yo, vlog number 6. Let's go. If you are a returning viewer, welcome back. If you are new to this channel, well, welcome to our channel. Today, we are going to Graton Casino. It is located in Rohnert Park, a little bit north of San Francisco, about 45 minutes. It is an Indian casino, so as of right now, they have indoor gaming. Their poker room is kind of situated in the back near the food court. They are playing 7-handed with plexiglass dividers. In order to enter the casino, you do have to wear a face mask. They also do make sure that they take your temperature. So it does feel like a safe environment. Before we get into anything else, if you can, please smash that like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you can get the latest and greatest hot off the press. This session that you're about to see happened a few months ago. I think it was in August. And we do play 1-3, so I know most of the sessions, actually all of the sessions so far, have been a 3-5 no-limit Texas Hold'em game. Today we are going to play a little bit of 1-3. A buddy of mine went to Graton, wanted to see some hands, wanted to have a little bit of fun, have some drinks, not really worry about playing GTO all the time. So we decided to hop into the 1-3 game, and we have a lot of fun doing so. So without further ado, let's hit the felt.
This video was created for entertainment purposes only. By no means am I a professional poker player. The following video is not intended to teach nor train, but rather to provide a look into my journey. Please gamble at your own risk. Alright, so first hand of the session, and we are going to start off the session with bringing back the mystery hand. We will go over the progressions from pre-flop, flop, turn, and river, while keeping our hand concealed. You drop what you think we have in the comments below, and at the end of this video, we will unveil our cards. Let's see if you can put us on a hand. So, we are in the small blind. Under the gun limps, under the gun +1 raises to 10, middle position calls, we call, and under the gun calls. We are going 4 ways to the flop of 3 of clubs, 10 of hearts, 9 of hearts. We check. It gets checked around to the PFR, and he ships his remaining $67 in. Now, it gets to us, and we raise to 200 straight. Under the gun has about 270, and it looks like he wants to play for it all. He says all in. Under the gun +1 folds, and we make the call. Turn is the ace of diamonds. River is the 6 of clubs. Under the gun tables ace deuce of hearts. He had the NFD and turned top pair. Middle position folds for the main pot. Do you think we won or lost? And what do we have? Type it in the comments below. We table change, and now we are 6-handed with jack 9 of clubs under the gun. We raise to 12. Under the gun +1 calls and the button calls. So we're going 3 ways to the flop, which comes queen 9-3, 2 hearts. We flop middle pair with a BDFD. We are first to act, and we don't want to pay a lot to see the next card, plus We are the pre-flop raiser, so let's try to rep a hand. We bet a small amount of $12. This is probably a mistake because the board is fairly wet for what their range is, but, we do it anyway. Only under the gun plus one calls, so we're going heads up to a turn of the deuce of hearts. Now we check, and he bets 30. We definitely don't beat anything here, so we just let it go. Next hand, we have Queen Jack of Hearts under the gun, and we raise to 12. There's a call on the button, and the big blind piles in for 55 total. It folds to us, and we don't want to play OOP against the button for a side pot, so we 4-bet to 125 to isolate the big blind. It does the trick, and we go heads up to a run out of 9-6-4. The turn is the Jack of Diamonds, and the river is the 10 of Clubs. He is very hesitant to show, so we table our hand, and we're good. He probably had Ace King or maybe a small pocket pair at this point. Now we look down at 2 red 10s and the big blind in a straddled pot. Middle position, cutoff, and button all call. Option is now on us, and we raise to 38. Only middle position calls, so we're going heads up to the flop, which is Jack 10 for Rainbow. We flopped middle set, and now we normally always bet here. You rarely ever want to lose value out of a hand like this. There's 2 Broadway, and we unblock top pair. This is a perfect scenario for betting. Here's the thing. He's bet the past 3 hands after we've checked to him. He's very aggressive, and we're hoping that he continues his barrage of betting. So we check. And what do you know? He follows through with a bet. He fires out 65 with only about 150 behind. We are licking our chops because this is a spot where he's not going to be able to get away from his hand. We obviously want all his chips, so let's make sure he can't fold. We min raise him to 130 total. I'm already thinking about what I'm going to do with this money. Maybe buy a habit burger from the food court, a couple of more rounds of drinks with my buddy. Well, those dreams disappear after he folds. What the hell? How can he fold? Oh yeah, it makes sense since he's bet 100% of his range after we check. He doesn't have to have anything here. Oh well, that's okay though. This is just an example of exactly playing exploitative and going with your read. Looks like if we were to bet here, he just folds. At least we got 65 out of him. We are now 5-handed with King 10 off in the cutoff. It folds to us, and we raise to 12. The small blind and big blind call, so we're going 3 ways to the flop, which is King 9 deuce, Rainbow. This is a pretty safe board for us. They both check to us, and our range is ahead of theirs. We want to build a pot on this dry flop and get all weaker kings and 9s to call, so we bet 15. Unfortunately, they both fold. It's back to 6-handed, and we see King 3 of diamonds in the cutoff. It gets folded to us, and we raise to 12. It might be slightly loose here, but it is short-handed, so our opening range can widen here. Only the big blind calls. So we're going heads up to a flop of Queen 5-3 with 2 hearts. He checks, and we down bet to 10. He snap min raises us to 20. We have bottom pair, and a 3 king or diamond on the turn would improve our hand dramatically. So we make the call. We are also in position, so if we hit our hand, he'll likely lead into us and we can charge him more on the turn. Well, it doesn't get to that because the 10 of spades rolls off on the turn, and he quickly leads 45 into us. We don't pick up that additional equity, so we just fold. An orbit goes by, and we are on the button with pocket 7s. There are a couple of limpers, and we raise to 16. Big blind calls and under the gun calls. So we're going 3 ways to the flop of deuce 3 deuce. Both check to us, and now we down bet to 10. This is a rainbow board with low cards, which could really only hit small aces. We can kind of find out where we're at with this type of bet. Both call. Turn is the 8 of spades. Big blind checks, and now under the gun bets 15. This is a very small bet by him. He's been firing away at a lot of pots this session, and this bet just smells like a draw. We call, and the big blind folds. The river brings the 9 of spades. Now he open piles in for 126. What can he have here? Let's think about this. He check called us on the flop, which he could have all small aces, including ace deuce. He pulled the stop and go on the turn with a weak bet, which doesn't really represent a 2. He most likely would have tried to check raise or sized up on the turn with a 2. He's probably not value betting a 3 on the turn either. Could he have an 8? The river brings the 9, and now he chooses to go all in. I mean, he can't always have the nuts on every single street. So the only hand that really makes sense here is a 2 or a bluff. With his turn action, I tend to believe that it's weighted toward a bluff. We think for a couple of seconds and put in the call. He plays with his cards for a little bit and tosses them face down in the muck. We went with our read and took down a good sized pot. Okay, this will be the last notable hand before the mystery hand reveal. We pick up King 3 suited once again. This time they are clubs, and we are on the button. There are a couple of limps, and middle position raises to 10. We call, big blind and under the gun call as well. So we're going 4 ways to the flop, which is Jack 7-4 with 2 clubs. It gets checked around to us, and we bet 16. Only the big blind and under the gun call. So now 3 ways to the turn, which is... yes, the 9 of clubs. Let's go. We just hit our flush. They both check again, and we want to keep them in, but still build a pot. We place a bet of $40. If they have the ace of clubs or a jack, they will make the call for sure. Only the under the gun player calls. So we're going heads up to a river, which is the ace of diamonds. This is kind of a bad card because now the ace beats a jack. But if they did have the ace of clubs, then we can definitely make some money here. He checks. We fire out 85 for value. He folds, and we take the pot down. All right, guys. So let's go over the mystery hand and see if any of you got it right. Once again, we are in the small blind. Under the gun limps. Under the gun +1 raises to 10. Middle position calls. We call, and under the gun calls. Flop is 3, 10, 9, 2 hearts. It gets checked around to the PFR. He goes all in for 67. We check raise to 200 straight. Under the gun has about 270, and he overships on us. Under the gun +1 folds, and we make the call. Turn is the ace of diamonds, and river is the 6 of clubs. Under the gun shows ace deuce of hearts. Middle position folds for the main pot. Well, under the gun did pick up top pair with his NFD. Luckily for us, it wasn't good enough. We table 10-9 of diamonds and scoop both pots. Who got this one right? Be truthful now. I'm actually thinking about changing this into a multiple choice mystery hand on the next video. We'll do like an A, B, C, or D type thing. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below.
Well, that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. I hope you liked that video. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. And also, drop something in the comments box if you have any suggestions of what maybe you liked, what you didn't like, maybe what you want to see on future videos. Well, just like always, until next time, don't be stuck like a duck. Run like Usain Bolt. Peace.